how to reduce your 3 biggest commercial real estate expenses. Why is that important? Well, it's important because these 3 expenses can eat you alive. What I mean by that is if you don't have control of them, you're going to have lower cash flow and you're going to have lower property value. And on the other hand, if you can get a hold of these 3 expenses, the opposite will happen. You will have more cash flow and your property will be worth even more. So let's start discussing what these 3 largest or biggest commercial property expenses are and how to get them reduced. All right, I'm going to start right here with you and share with you how commercial real estate works and then also what the 3 biggest expenses are, and then I'll share with you how to get them reduced. Okay, let's get started. We started right here. How commercial real estate works. I just want to make sure that I establish the basis first before I get into the actual expenses. Okay, you probably know this, but I just want to make sure. Here's how it works. Rental, if you have your rental income, you subtract from it your expenses, and then what's left over, you subtract from your mortgage, that equals your cash flow. Okay, so the best properties, the highest cash flowing properties, you are maximizing the income. You are optimizing your expenses, meaning that you are maintaining them or reducing them. And then number 3, the debt. You are having the lowest interest rate or best terms or longest loan term you can get to make sure that you have the best loan possible. So income minus expenses minus debt equals sustained and maximized cash flow. Okay, so that's how it works here. In this video, I'm only going to focus on one component here, and that is the expenses. In commercial real estate, expenses are broken up into 2 categories. We have your fixed expenses where we know what those are going to be every single month, and they include what your property tax is going to be, what your insurance is going to be, and what your management fees are going to be every month. We know what those are. And then secondly, we have our variable expenses. These expenses vary month to month, okay? And they include your utilities, right? They vary month to month. Vacancies vary month to month, and also maintenance varies month to month, okay? Now, out of your fixed and variable expenses, 3 of them really stick out in my last 20 years of the 3 that can come back and bite you in the butt or allow you to maximize the cash flow and returns on your property. And those 3 are, there's actually 4, but the 3 are, number 1 is utilities. That's a broad word. I will break it down what I mean by utilities. Number 2 is vacancy. This is more important than what you think. There is so much expense involved in the word vacancy. Wait till you hear me say it. Number 3 is insurance. How many of you out there where your insurance has tripled in the last 2 years, right? Mainly all of us, right? And then number 4 is property taxes, okay? But I have a separate video on how to reduce property taxes that will appear on the screen, so check it out and go watch it, okay? It's going to share with you that is your right to get your property taxes reduced and contest them, get them reduced, and then I share with you the steps of doing that, okay? So utilities, vacancy, and insurance. So right now, let's jump into number 1, which is how to reduce your utilities. Let's do that next. All right, let's start off with number 1, that is utilities. And before we start, if you have any questions you want to send to me, a number will appear on the screen. Text Peter to that number, and I'll be on the other end answering your questions. So any questions you have about this material or anything else, feel free to text me there, and I'll get right back to you. Okay, we're going to start with utilities. As you know, utilities around the country in the last couple of years have gone up dramatically, okay? And it's been hurting us. So this video is very important in you learning how to get those utility costs under control and even reduced, all right? That's what today is about. All right, so utilities include water and sewer, heat, electric, gas, trash, and cable. Okay, those are the basics ones. The top 2, okay, water and sewer and heat are the biggest ones where I believe, where I know that have been hurting us the most, but we also have the most control over them and the ability to get them reduced, okay? Imagine having a 100-unit apartment building where you are paying all the water or where you are paying the heat for 100 units. That's a lot, okay? That's a huge bill. All right, so here's what we've done, okay? So to help reduce the water bill, we've done a few things, okay? We've changed the shower head and faucet to regulators or aerators, where when the tenants turn on the water, it doesn't come out full blast. It is regulated. It comes off with a slower stream, so we're saving water instantaneously like that, okay? On every single faucet in those units. We're also putting low flow toilets and toilet leak detection, okay? So a leaky toilet, okay, a leaky toilet that leaks for 30 days is $100, okay? It is. That's $100 of less cash flow for you, dropping your NOI, dropping property value. Imagine having 30 leaky toilets, okay? It will and it can add up, okay? So these are the type of things that you would do. By the way, when you go and get a multi-family loan, it's called a small balance loan from Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, they have this program that if you were commit to purchasing shower head and faucet regulators and low flow toilets, they will give you a lower interest rate. So you get a lot of incentives from them to do just that, okay? The second thing I would do is implement a RUB system, okay, to the tenants. What a RUB system is, RUBS is your, I call it a resident utility billing system, but it's actually called a ratio utility billing system, where basically if we have a set water bill, we are dividing it up in certain pieces and sending it back to the tenant. The reason why we do that, if the tenants get a notice that they're paying a part of the water bill, and as the water bill goes up, they will pay more. Guess what they will do? Like kids, they will shut their water faucet off and not waste water. Okay, so these two strategies have helped us greatly reduce the water consumption in our commercial properties. The second one is your heating bill. Okay, during the winter time, we have ginormous bills from heating the apartments. Okay, so what we've done here is we've implemented, where we can, a RUB system again, where we give the tenant, like they have a one-bedroom apartment, we will charge them $125 just for the heating bill, okay? And we tell them that as the heating bill goes up, you will pay more. Guess what they do? They stop running the air conditioning 24/7. They will shut off the lights, and they'll be more mindful of their utility expense if they know they are paying for part of it. Human nature, okay? They're like children, unfortunately, okay? All right, next, if you have common areas like hallways, lobbies, where it gets cold inside or hot inside and you have to regulate it, what we do is we'll put a programmable thermostat in those common areas where we get to control the temperature of the long hallways, of the lobby areas. We control it, not the tenant, okay? The tenants will crank it up and get inside the unit and don't worry about it. So wherever we can put in controllable thermostats to regulate the heat, control it, we do that. Okay, so these two will save you a bunch of money. Got it? All right, let's go on to number 2. All right, here is number 2, and it's not what you think it is. Number 2 is vacancy. Vacancy is when someone is not occupying a certain unit or space in your commercial property, and it's very, very costly. Okay? All right, so here's the big question. Okay, you probably haven't thought about this, right? How much does it cost you when you have a vacancy, right? Some of you may be thinking, Peter, I have a 20-unit property and I have one vacancy. It's not a big deal. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, look at what it's costing you when you have one vacancy. Imagine having more. Okay, so number 1 is when your property is not occupied, you're missing rent for that month. Whatever that rent is, you don't have it. Number 2, you're going to have to spend money on we call it turnover costs. Turning the unit over to get it ready for the next tenant. You have that cost. That can vary from $800 to $10,000, okay, depending on the condition of the unit. All right, you have marketing costs. You have, once it's all turned over, you have to put it on the market. And that's not free, okay? You got to put it on the market, and you got to put it on the marketing system and get it marketed. Number 2 is utility costs. When your guys are turning over your unit, they're inside. They need light. They need power to fix everything, so you are paying utilities on his unit while it's vacant. Okay. The next one is management costs. who's going to show the unit or keep track of it, when it's vacant? Your management team is going to do that. And guess what? They don't work for free, okay? And lastly, my time, right? My time is worth $1 gazillion per hour if I have to monitor this or if I have too many, right? So I can't put a number here because it's so large, but it requires my time. I'm taking my valuable time and monitoring this. Part of my job as a commercial property owner, even when I have a management team, right? I have to manage the management, and part of it is using my time to make sure that vacancies are being addressed aggressively. Okay? All right. So it's very costly to have one vacancy. Imagine having several and having to incur all of these costs. Okay? There is a solution on reducing your vacancy costs. All right? The solution is this. The solution is focus on retention, right? So the solution on retention is try to reduce your vacancies, right? Try not to have vacancies. How do we do that? I think I'll do another video on how to keep your tenants in place and keep them happy and keep them paying. I think I'll do that. But basically, it's customer service, it's maintaining the property, it's being professional with them, it's taking care of the maintenance needs, just making sure they have a good experience while they're residing in your building. Okay, so that's when they'll stay, and you won't have to incur this much. Okay, so there needs to be a focus on retention of your tenants. All right. Next, the other solution is to be proactive. What do I mean by that? To be proactive means to knowing in advance when someone is going to be moving out, and have a quick turnaround. You want to be able to turn this unit over quickly. I mean, having a system in place. Have your property manager do a pre-inspection. Get the costs together. Okay the cost. Get your maintenance guys in there to turn it over real quick to put it back on the market, right? The other solution is to have it pre-leased, right? So while our guys are working and turning this over, our property manager is out advertising it and getting it leased before it's even ready. Okay, it's called pre-leasing. That's how you do that. And next is to have a bonus system in play for people that lease your apartment buildings. So we have leasing agents in our buildings, and they get bonuses on how quickly and how well they fill our vacancies. Okay, so they are incentivized to make sure this cost is minimized or reduced. Got it? All right, so this is really, really important, never talked about, but it is a huge expense that most people don't see. All right, let's go to number 3. All right, here is the third and final biggest commercial property expense and how to reduce them, okay? The third one is insurance. Now, we all know, everyone out there looking at me knows that your auto insurance has gone up, your life insurance has gone up, your homeowner insurance has gone up, and if you are a commercial property owner, you know for darn sure that your property insurance rates have gone up. And in some cases, from 2 years to now, it has doubled, sometimes even tripled for whatever reason it has, all right? So it hurt our bottom line. So basically, insurance is necessary if you have a loan, right? It's getting more expensive, and there's less ability. Some insurers are putting out the markets that we're in, so we have less insurers out there. So the prices are going up. So compared to how it was 2 years ago, it's a new game. So a new game requires new strategy, a new playbook to optimize your insurance, to make sure you're insured properly, and also not overpaying, and also getting reasonable rates, and in some cases getting them reduced, okay, like today. All right, so here's a solution. Solution number 1, okay, since it's a new game, you have to shop. Okay, in years prior, I could go to my 1 or 2 insurance brokers, get the best quote, I'm done, right? I would tell our students, call these 2 brokers and you're done. Not anymore. Now we have to go to multiple, sometimes 5 or 6, sometimes 10, to get the most affordable insurance or get the rates reduced. Okay, so it's a new game there. So shop. And all right, number 2 is get under a master policy. One of our property managers, he manages thousands of units, and he has an insurance policy called a master policy that he will put us under. And because he has all these insurance policies underneath him, he's able to get a good rate. So check with your property manager to see if they have a master policy that you can get under and get your insurance reduced. Okay? All right. Number 3 is to raise your deductible. All right. So you can go from a $5,000 deductible to a $25,000 deductible on a commercial property, and that will drop your premiums as well. Okay, something you can do. All right, next is think second about filing a claim. My insurance agent hates when I say that, right? So, but I will tell you, think second about filing a claim, because once you file a claim, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but sometimes they'll jack your rates up or they'll cancel you, right? And now insurance companies say, oh no, we don't do that, but they do. Okay, you're looking at one that has happened to me, and it happens to some of my co-investors. Okay, all right. The next one is maintain your property. Okay, so in order to keep your rates the same or get them lower throughout the years, because they will drive by, okay, and they will notice if a shingle is missing or if a siding is coming off, the building needs paint, or something is rusted, and they will either jack up your rates or they will cancel you, right? So to get the best chance of having affordable insurance or getting it reduced, maintain your property, okay? All right, and lastly, we keep a database of insurance companies that our students can use around the country. So because we help our students buy properties from the East Coast, West Coast, North and South, we have all the data of all the insurance companies that they have used, all the quotes, so we can go in and see where the best quotes come from. All right, so you need a database, a large database, nationwide database that we didn't have before, but we do have now, because we want to help our students, reduce their insurance. Okay, so that's really important. Okay, it kind of goes back to the shop. All right, okay, so there you go. There you go. Those are the 3 biggest commercial real estate expenses, and how to get a hold on them, even how to get them reduced. All right, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, and you have any questions for me, feel free to text me. Okay, text Peter to 833-942-4516, and I would love to hear from you. If you like this topic, if you have any questions whatsoever, go ahead and just text me. All right, okay, all right. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to learn how to become one of our proteges, go ahead, the link will appear right on the screen. If not, if you go ahead and just like the video, that encourages us to put more videos like this out there. I'm also giving you a copy of my free book. The link will appear right there. Download a copy and go at it and read it and learn as much as you can. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching today and hanging out with me. I'll see you at the next video.